Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, top 1 financial advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. I want to answer a few questions that I got on Sunday about Forex. I want to explain what Forex is, what are some of the risks, and then what you as an investor should know about it, and kind of give you my background as someone who has managed investments and have seen how dozens of people have managed different types of financial markets to build wealth. All right, so Forex stands for foreign currency. You match those two together and you get Forex. And essentially, instead of investing in one stock or a fund of several stocks together, you are investing in currency pairs or currency movements. And when I say that, I mean the US dollar compared to the euro, or the yen, that is the Japanese dollar, compared to the Canadian dollar. And you are betting to say that this currency is going to be stronger or weaker than another by a certain period of time. This is usually, I would say, short term. So we're talking, a day or two, and saying, look, based on what I think is going on in this country or in this particular situation, I think that the US dollar is going to get stronger compared to another country's dollar. And when we talk about that, this is what we mean. So as of, I would say, about 2 weeks ago, and I think this may have recently changed, but 2 weeks ago, the US dollar reached parity with the euro. That means that I could go to France, I could go to Belgium and say, look, I have $1, that thing says, €1, these things are equal. In the past, it was not equal. I think it, could have been $1.17, meaning that €1, I need more US dollars to equal one particular euro, making it more expensive for me to take my stuff and go there. It makes it cheaper for them to take their stuff and buy things here, and vice versa. And this happens not just between US and euro, but almost any country that you go to, there are going to be foreign exchange rates. So investors in Forex are betting on the direction of these foreign exchange rates. That's essentially what Forex is. Forex in and of itself is not a scam. Okay, it's not. It is scam adjacent in that scammers will use, Forex hashtags in their bio. They will try and recruit people into Forex groups and do a whole lot of shady stuff that involves Forex and claim to teach you about Forex. They usually do not. Now, I'll also say that as someone who's managed over 140 million, someone who has seen the DNA of people's portfolios who have built incredible wealth, not one time did I see anybody get there by investing in Forex. Forex, in my view, has to be the top 3 most difficult investing skills and products and markets out there. It is, and here's why. Unlike a stock, you can look at something, you can look at the product, look at these statements that they have to put out and say, hey, you built X amount of stores, people are going into the theaters, or people are not going to theaters in the case of AMC, and say, hey, look, I think this makes a good investment, or this does not make a good investment. For example, on Friday, we did a whole video about Target and my concerns about Target. You don't have a streaming service. I don't know where your membership service is. Your net income went from $1.01 billion down to $183 million in just 3 months. Red flags, problems, right? And I can go into Target and see, are there people in here, right? And I can go and check their numbers and make a determination. I might be right or wrong on that determination, but we can all see this information and make that determination. It is easy to get that information. It's so easy. I made a video on it and you can watch that, right? So that's one way to look at it. How do you judge whether or not the US dollar is going to do well or better or worse than the Japanese dollar? How do you actually know that? That's difficult, right? You have to understand global economics. You have to understand global trade. You have to understand politics. You have to understand economics, if I hadn't mentioned that one already. And you have to understand these things very, very quickly, because these are not things that just stay stagnant. Foreign exchange rates move 24 hours a day. And some days you'll have parity where the US dollar and the euro are equal, and then it won't be. Just because, right? For, again, a myriad of different reasons. But also global conflicts. Like when Russia attacked Ukraine, global currencies off the map. Things were shifted significantly, and every single day with every single headline in any country that you could be investing in can shift currency rates in one way or another. And that's just one of the many factors when it comes to trying to invest in Forex. It is highly complex. The other thing is it is highly leveraged. That means that you can take, say, $1,000, $2,000. I'm making up numbers here, but you guys get the point. Where I say, look, I'm opening my account with $2,000 and you are leveraged, so they'll give you $50,000 of buying power. That's a whole lot of money. And it's great if you know what you were doing, you can predict the future and be right 100% of the time, because I'm only putting up $2,000 of my cash. I'm getting a loan, that's what margin is. And then if things go well and I'm making money, let's say it's 1% or even 10%, making 10% on $50,000, that's a $5,000 payday. That's good, right? Except that if you are wrong and things move in the opposite direction, you could be owing $5,000, $10,000 or more. So that leverage can be highly, highly dangerous. And that is one of the biggest mistakes I've seen new investors make time and time again, where you borrow money to go invest in something and it doesn't go well, and now you owe that money back, and you invested in something that was way too complex and something you probably were not suited or prepared for. So for me personally, and for someone who interacts primarily with new investors and immediate investors, this is a hard no for Forex. I have known, and I've been doing this for 12 years, one person I've come across that said, they said it, I did not see those receipts, they said that they were the only person that I know, or come across rather, that was successful in Forex over a long period of time. That was just one person. I've come across thousands of people. Okay, so that's just my personal, experience. What I will say is this as well. When I look at, or when I would view people's portfolios or ask for advice and things like that, there are like different levels to the complexity of investing. So I usually start with the savings account, bare basics, everybody should have it. There should be no debates here. And it's technically not an investment, but it protects your investments, right? So if something happens, I don't have to sell my stocks. I can just, use my savings. So if I'm starting off with savings, then I'm moving up to index funds, super basic. Honestly, if I have a savings account and some index funds or 401k or wherever, you're actually good. You can actually stop there. If you want to do extra, then you can go to stocks, okay? Stocks, index funds, savings accounts. Those three layers are good. That's all I got, right? That's what I would say 99% of my money is in those three areas. Now, if you want to get more technical, you want to do just a touch more, then maybe you can do cryptocurrencies and then maybe option trading, okay? Now you're getting to the intermediate level, things get a little harder and a lot more volatile and violent. So I've done option trades here and there. Sometimes they turn out great, other times just, hey, cut me out, right? Like hit the stop loss and get up out of here, because option trading can be volatile, and we know how volatile the crypto markets can be. You don't have to do option trading, you don't have to do crypto, but that's like what, the third or fourth level, or fourth and fifth level of difficulty. Then above that, which I think is even more complex and more complicated and more dangerous, is where you get into futures contracts and Forex. Those two are like far out things that you do not have to do, and I generally just don't recommend because of the difficulty. And when I'm looking at people's retirement accounts, or I'm looking at their net worth and helping them to understand what the tax situation is and what they're trying to do, I have not had a single client in my entire career where I saw that they were investing in Forex or were successful at it. I've managed over $140 million, meaning that of all the clients I had, they equaled $140 million. So I've seen people with $10 million portfolios, 15 million. I've seen a lot that were between 700,000 and 900,000, getting close to a millionaire, but not quite getting there. $300,000 accounts, a lot of money left and right. So I've seen what they have, and Forex didn't really come up that often. Crypto was relatively young, so I don't really want to count that. Option trading every now and then, but not a whole lot. I'm thinking like 5% being a lot. That was like the max that I personally saw. That's not to say they don't exist. I'm just telling you this, it's really the basics that are going to get you far when it comes to building wealth. So savings, index funds, stocks. Those are your primary. You want to do extra, branch off to crypto. If you really want to be advanced, branch off into options. But I'm just talking about a tiny, tiny touch. Forex futures contracts, way too complex and very, very difficult and highly leveraged. So if I were you, and I am new, if I were you and I am intermediate, or if I'm just a general person that wants to build wealth and stay wealthy, you really want to stick to the basics. That is what works more often than not, is the one that we have the most data for. And I think that is the most important thing too, because I like to do what I can prove, right? I like to go back and say, from the year 2000 to 2021, the stock market was only down 5 times. 2000, 2001, 2002, I think it was 2008, and then 2018. That was it. Okay, so that tells me that, was that like 80% of the time or so, the stock market is positive. I got that on my side, right? I can't say that for Forex. I really can't even say that for crypto, because crypto has a bunch of intricacies. It depends on what you're investing in as well. So, no for Forex. Okay, that's just me. Okay, and I've got data to support it, but no for Forex, and anything really above crypto and option trading, you're probably done enough, right? The other thing that I think is even more important is, what I don't want to see for anybody that is new, don't jump the basics to go to the most advanced stuff. And I say this because I had a barber, this was 2018, I think, right after 2017, 2018, when Bitcoin first made its big move. And he was like, yeah, you should invest in Bitcoin, you should do all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, like maybe, but like, have you invested in like an index fund? Have you invested in like, I don't know, shares of Nike? He's like, no, that stuff is too risky. I'm like, you skipped 1, 2, 3 levels and went to crypto, but didn't get like the basics first. So if you say, I don't care what Kevin says, I want to go out here and do Forex, fine, you go do that on your own time. However, please make sure you have the basics first, because if you can't understand one single company and why it is performing the way it is, how in the world are you going to understand 2 entire countries? That's hard to do, right? It's hard for me, and I got a degree in economics, and it's hard for me to figure out what these currencies are doing and to predict them anything close to accurate. Okay, so just throwing it out there, that is my personal viewpoint on Forex. It in itself is not a scam, but it is scam adjacent. All right, if you want to learn more about investing, make sure you hit the members only. We do new videos every single week. We do Q&As, breakdowns, and really to help you to build your investing vocabulary, become a better, more informed investor. All right, that is it for me. I will see you in the members only.